absolutely impeccable. And let's get behind the teams now. Give it up for your hoops. Come on, City!
As football remembers, and here we go with Oxford City versus in the National League North. They are taking on Worksop Town, and I'm going to hand over to someone who knows a bit more than I do. It's our commentator today, Andy Gate.
Yes, good afternoon, Carla. Thank you for for feeling a little bit, obviously, with the Remembrance Day commemorations happening up and down the country. I'm sure we're hearing that at the Hawthorns here at the M Group Stadium today. But that 2 minutes silence, rather, impeccably observed by both fans, players, whoever was in attendance today from both Oxford City and Worksop Town. It was really nice as well. Oxford City's club secretary Lee Pankow and Worksop Town chairman as well, both laying wreaths on behalf of both clubs in the centre circle before the game and that 2 minutes silence. But now we can move on to footballing matters as the referee's whistle is blown. We're back underway in National League North. Oxford City versus Worksop Town. City on the back of that first win in just over 2 months against Hereford on Tuesday. However, it still doesn't relieve the pressure. They're still down there in and around it, and a big result today against Worksop Town. Newly promoted Worksop Town, who have started the season pretty well, is a must. We are underway though here, and already Worksop have a long throw, which looks like it's going to go straight into the box. And they're in their yellow and black striped shirts, black shorts and yellow socks. As this throw-in is whipped in, it's met by the head of Westendorf. It bounces out though, and Worksop have an early chance here for a cross. It is crossed in towards the box, headed out by Ashby again, and underneath it is Alfie Potter. And all of a sudden Oxford City could charge on the counter here. Potter just trots over the halfway line, finds Mirage, he helps it on to Westendorf, flag stays down, Isaac Westendorf over to Roddy, and after just 1 minute on the clock, Jacob Roddy has given Oxford City the lead. Well, I've not even had a chance to introduce my co-commentator Byron Wilson, but after 1 minute, Oxford City have the lead, and it's Jacob Roddy. What a start to this game, Byron Wilson.
That is a fantastic start. I was just about to say it's going to be a game of first and second balls, and we've got it there. It's fantastic.
After just 1 minute, scored by number 3, Jacob Roddy!
1 minute, 2 seconds is what I'm being told by the person to my left here, Chris Williams. What an unbelievable start. And just after, Worksop Town looked like they had a long throw, it was defended well, and as soon as the cross came in from the left, it was played out. A lot of credit has to go to Alfie Potter, bringing the ball out from the back. He let loose Gennaro Mirage down the left. He helped it onto his left, and again, unselfishly, I think it was Isaac Westendorf who might have played it. It was
Isaac. He's ran all the way from his box to the opposition box, and he's squared it to Roddy, and it's a fantastic start for us.
And Jacob Roddy, his first goal of the season, is an absolute tap-in. The easiest he'll get all season long, but it is an absolutely brilliant start for Oxford City. And Byron Wilson, the Oxford City defender, we've said it all that needs to be said. I've not even had a chance to introduce you. An Oxford City lead by 1-0. Jacob Roddy, who has been in fine form on that right wing-back role, has given Oxford City the lead and already charged up the right to try and make Oxford City's early start in this game count. Well,
I'm sure Roddy would be happy with that after having a goal chalked off in the last game, unrightfully so, I may add, but I'm sure he'll be happy and talking about that at half-time and full-time.
He will be, won't he? But Jacob Roddy, he did the little Erling Haaland celebration as well, but Westendorf is trying to sneak in from behind, but Hamza Bencher, if the Worksop Town defenders just managed to nip in ahead of him and get it out for an Oxford City corner. Not even had a chance to go through the team yet, even Byron Wilson, but it's Oxford City that are doing all the early movements after these. Not even hit the 4th minute yet, but City have a corner. Well, they'll have to learn from what happened to Worksop. They'll have to make sure that they're not counted against. But what a brilliant start for Oxford City. He went 2 months without a victory, and with this early goal, they're in prime position to go and make it 2-2. Well, here's Josh Ashby's corner, floated in towards the back stick. Charlie Wiggett wins the header. It floats around in there. It's headed back in by Burrows, and eventually cleared away to Lewis Whittam, who will burst down the centre of the field. Alfie Potter's trying to stand in up, but it's good play from Whittam, who's a bit of a unit. He'll keep bringing the ball forward, but Alfie Potter's delayed him just enough so the Oxford City defenders can get past. Cross in towards the box. It's Wayward and Sam Lewis. Oh, he'll drop it. Well, it was a standard catch from Sam Lewis, but he's dropped the ball, so he's got away with one there. There was no one in the near vicinity of that, and I just wonder whether Sam Lewis might just have to shake off some early jitters after that. But Oxford City at the moment just trying to play their way out here after that dream start. We'll also be bringing you all the action from our other local games today. Of course, Oxford United away at the Hawthorns today as they take on West Brom. We'll bring you all the updates of that. That was on 95.2 FM with Jerome and the team that have travelled up to the Midlands, if you want to listen to that. But here on BBC Sounds, it's Oxford City 1, Worksop 0. Jacob Roddy's early goal giving us the lead here for one of our local teams. We'll also be bringing you National League coverage as well from that Brackley Town versus Boreham Wood game in the National League. But at the moment, Oxford United and Brackley are both 0-0, as is Banbury United, who are away at Bishop Stortford today. But Byron, 5 minutes on the clock. Finally a chance to catch our breaths, or breath rather. But Worksop certainly looking like they're... well, I'll break again because Tom Scott's done expertly well to feed in a ball to Jacob Roddy through the legs of his marker. Roddy just tries the speculative pass, doesn't he, just down into the right-hand channel. Doesn't quite... gives Isaac Westendorf a little bit too much to do there. But at the moment, a very impressive start to the game for Oxford City, but it's been a little bit chaotic as well.
I'm sure we'll be happy with that either way. It's a great start, and we'll be looking to calm down the game now and have it our way and keep the ball as much as possible. I'm sure Isaac will be happy with that ball that Roddy's put down the side. Although it didn't work out, he'll be looking to get onto those all day.
For so long, it's almost took Oxford City to get a goal to kind of settle down and actually grow into the game. Well, they've got one really early on. Usually it's the goals going against them at this stage, and we're always saying in the commentary box, well, the silver lining of conceding this early is that there is the whole of the game to get back into it, and that's what Worksop's manager Craig Parry will be saying to his very experienced side as well, I must say. I just look at the bench, there's some very experienced name on there. There's former Macclesfield midfielder Sam Wedgbury, Luke Waterfall's on there as well. There is that experience in the team, and they have another throw in around about 22, 23 yards out. It looked as though it was going to go into the box, but they've taken it short to Deegan Atherton here, who will shape for the cross. It's smothered by Potter, but again it goes out to a yellow another cross in. This time it's blocked by Tom Scott, and it bounces out into the Macron stand on that far side and out for another Worksop throw in, which you'd imagine will go straight into the box. Well, here we go. Throw in towards the box, headed out by Westendorf. He's looked like a threat though from Worksop, although they were picked off on the counter-attack by City by this man who's just won the ball back again, Alfie Potter. He's lost it again though, cross in towards the box. That time Sam Lewis isn't going to be troubled, and there's no one nipping in to tap it home. City playing the ball out from the back. Here's George Burrows, finds Tom Scott. He just takes a touch in front of him and then clips it down the right. Again, Jacob Roddy will chase. This time it's well dealt with by the number 22, Dylan Colgill. But again, Worksop do just enough that time to clear their lines in what has been a little bit of a scrappy game despite the goal in these early 8 or so minutes. Both teams getting stuck in, and I imagine that is not going to change as we keep going on into this game. I think it might be one of those stereotypical non-league games, Byron Wilson. I think I asked a few of the players beforehand, you've done your analysis on Worksop, what are you expecting? And the answer I got back is that the goalkeeper who has the ball now, Thomas Taylor, can kick it and it will have snow on it. So it might be that sort of game.
Well, yeah, as I said before, it's going to be very important to win our first and second duels, especially with, as you said, the goalkeeper who like to go long and they're seemingly long throws. But we seem to be dealing with it well right now, so hopefully we can weather the storm a little bit longer.
Absolutely, I think it is just a case of seeing that out, but again, taking the chances when they come, because Worksop, despite not creating a chance just yet, have certainly had the ball in the danger zone per se. City, though, trying to break forward. We talk about having snow on it. The number 5 and captain for Worksop, Hamza Bencherif, has just absolutely blasted the ball into the afternoon sky, and that literally did look like it had snow on it. As Roddy clips the ball forward to Potter, he goes down. That'll be the easiest free kick that the referee gives all game. Free kick taken quickly, though, from Oxford City, and here is Latrell Humphrey-Ewers, who's received the ball from the right. Francis over to Josh Ashby, who's been in the goals lately. 3-3. He made it on Tuesday night against Hereford. Potter, Scott. This is neat interplay. And Westendorf's found Scott, who's had a go. And he's limping after having that shot. I did see him doing some running just before the game. He was named in the team, maybe like a late fitness test or something. He might just be playing with a little bit of discomfort, but that shot wasn't too far away. Worth a go, I think is the phrase there, Byron. It just drifted away from the goalkeeper in the end, though.
Yeah, well, Tom Scott's a very important player for us, so we're going to be hoping to keep him on the pitch as long as possible. But as you said in that one, Alfie Potter and Isaac Westendorf linking up again. They've had a really bright start to the game, so let's hope they can continue this form.
Definitely, and they've going to have to be at the races today if they are to get anything against Worksop, who are a tough nut to crack. They weren't on Tuesday night. They travelled to Darlington, and you do have to feel for like a newly promoted team like Worksop. They've done some travelling this week. You know, they went to Darlington on Tuesday. They're here in Oxford on Saturday. They beat Scarborough, though, at home on a week ago, which is some impressive result. They beat them 1-0. So they have, and they beat Fylde as well. So they've certainly got what it takes to mix it with the big boys in this division. They have already gone on a run as well of three wins in a row. Oxford City trying to get back-to-back wins for the first time this season, but those little runs can make all the difference. You've seen it with Bedford, with Worksop. They're towards the bottom and they're in 16th coming into this game, but they're nowhere near the dreaded drop zone, if you like. So that momentum can go a long, long way. And again, they will try and pick up some points today, because at the moment, after going behind, as they pick up a free kick early on in the middle of this in the pitch, they have certainly been the ones to react, if you like. They've been the ones that have been bringing the game to City in these early few stages, despite the scoreline. It's a game that I imagine you'd love to be out there, Byron, and physical battle.
Absolutely, any type of football I'd love to be involved in, but as we come down here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, here's Whittam, who'll cut inside on his right foot. He sends a shot towards goal, I think that was. If it was a cross, it was going nowhere near any yellow shirts, but he almost outfoxed.
Cleared by
Sam
George
Lewis.
Burrows, nonetheless.
He's done well there, but they've got the chance again to get this into the box. Leasley, again, decent ball, flick towards goal. And I think the Oxford City defence were waiting for the flag to go up then. It never came, and that header is just inches wide. That is so close for the visitors. Well, he didn't really get the reaction from the crowd or players. I think Sam Lewis must have been absolutely sure that was going wide, because he just left it, but it didn't look like that from our position. And luckily, Oxford City do have Sam Lewis in there, who judged that to perfection. But here comes City on the counter-attack again. It's down the left again from Mirage, who just tries to poke the ball through to Westendorf. It's blocked, but it bounces straight back to the fullback, who's invited Alfie Potter to come forward now. His cross jinks up, and again it's flicked on by Tom Scott towards Jacob Roddy. They wouldn't have counted even if Jacob Roddy had got toe end on it anyway. The flag did go up, but the referee has waved play on, because Worksop are working their way all the way down the left-hand side with Whittam, who's had plenty of the ball in these early stages, and passes it to Leasley, who's the man who sent in that rather perfect looking cross just a few minutes ago. Here's Bencherif, the captain, and again another experienced head in the Worksop team. Again flicked forward. There's a man down for Worksop, but they'll play on because they've got the ball through Whittam Brown. He's done well, and he slams across against I think that's Francis who it's come off, and it'll be a corner to Worksop, and they do look very threatening from crossing opportunities, so I imagine that's the game plan.
Well, twice we've got down our left-hand side, Worksop's right with G and Isaac. So if we can get it out there a little bit more with a nice flick on from Tom Scott, aiming it towards Roddy, it will be a good day for us.
Well, that's the thing. They have been suspect to the counter-attack. They have to be at the races today, Oxford City. They have conceded a few goals from set pieces. Leasley, ball in, it's a dangerous ball in. Wiggett wins the header and bounces out to Potter. He's just missed that by a fraction. He'll battle for it though and wins the free kick. Brilliant play from Alfie Potter. You just said there, Byron, he's done very well. He absolutely has done, hasn't he there, Alfie Potter? Again, 35, 36-year-old Alfie Potter. You know, he's got all the experience in the world. Still looks like he's 21, ratting around in the midfield. He's an absolute... Well, I call him Benjamin Button. He doesn't like me saying that, but I call him Benjamin Button because it seems like he just gets younger and younger with every year that progresses. City now going for a little bit of a direct approach. Isaac Westendorf trying to lean into the back of Ben Sharif, but they have cleared the ball. Mirage takes a little bit of a heavy touch, and now Starchenko will come away with it. And Oxford City have won a throw-in, though. Scrappy, isn't it, Byron, at these early stages, despite the score?
Yeah, it's been very scrappy. We'll be looking to calm it down a bit now as we age into the first half. But well, we've been on top really with the chances. They've just had a couple of set pieces that we've been able to deal with well. But as you said, a little bit scrappy. So hopefully it calms down.
They're pressing high as well, aren't they, Worksop? As Oxford City just about survive as Starchenko presses the hub for you. As you know, the City like to play the ball out from the back. That's no secret. But they are inviting a high press on here. But if the City can, you know, bypass that, there could be a bit of luck in this game for them.
Well, we've definitely got the quality. Latrell Humphreys there, just taking his time on the ball to turn and ping it out to George Burrows. So I'm hoping the lads will be more than comfortable with this high press and be able to get out in behind with G and Roddy on the wings.
It's Chris Francis, and he's played the ball back to Sam Lewis, and this time there is no press. So Lewis is just going to be allowed to just trot the ball out, and as soon as he does play Francis in, there kind of triggers the high press again. City players just trying to find as much space as possible for those passes out. Westendorf has held off the ball there. Worksop win it back. Ball again out towards the number 22, that time Dylan Cogill, who smashes the ball down the field. Now it's Starchenko, intercepted by Francis, and straight away Francis launches it long, trying to look for Westendorf. He's in an offside position, so that'll mean that Dylan Cogill can just simply nod the ball back to Thomas Taylor, who picks it up and throws it straight back to him. It has been, again, we've said it about 3 or 4 times, or I've said it 3 or 4 times, scrappy, but Worksop have been pretty impressive in their terms of reacting to going 1-0 down. It was a poor goal to concede, in all honesty. Jacob Roddy giving them the lead, but there's a ball over the top, and there's a chance here for Whitman Brown to get another cross in. Cuts back onto his left, does cross it in, and Chris Francis clears the ball into the air. Again, Potter will battle for it, and Josh Ashby in the end will just see that out for a goal kick. And we have talked about Oxford City, just, you know, you've mentioned them, just, you know, seeing this early spell of pressure out, Byron. They've not quite done that just yet. You know, Worksop are keeping the finger on the pulse at the moment.
Well, yeah, it seems as though Worksop have really warmed into this game. They were caught cold early on with our goal. I was just about to mention G's getting a lot more pressure from their right back now, so hopefully we can get Alfie Potter and Westendorf in behind, as we seem to do here with Westendorf running in. Well,
that seems to be the game plan for Oxford City, isn't it? As soon as they get the ball, they're trying to spin it in behind, because Westendorf has got that little bit of pace, as has Mirage if he can get forward. But at the moment, Worksop keep picking off the balls and they'll keep coming forward. Here's Whitman Brown again, who's shrugged off, but he's looking like the danger man, to be fair, for Worksop on that right-hand side. He's picked up the ball in dangerous areas and at the moment hasn't quite managed to pick out a player inside the box. Brilliant ball from Leasley. Appeals for offside, not given, and they're onside here. Chance, they'll cut inside. Whitman shoots, it's blocked by Roddy, but again comes out. Roddy will block again, and the number 12, Mason O'Malley, has won his team a throw in, and he's quite unlucky that that's not a corner there. Jacob Roddy just doing enough to don't think he knew anything about it, to be fair, but he got the part of the ball, body on the ball, that didn't let it go out for a corner and rather a throw. It's launched in towards the box. It's like a throw, headed out by Westendorf, picked up on the edge of the box. Latrell Humphrey as blocks. Again, Worksop keeping them penned in. Leasley, first time cross in towards the box. Again, his crosses have got that trajectory and whip on it that makes them really dangerous. Joe Leasley, the Worksop number 4, he's one to watch. He keeps getting on the ball as well. He's here as an option. It's the only option. He has the ball again. Straight away he looks for that angle to cross. Isn't quite got it on that time, so he's found Atherton. Over to the right now. Again, and Alfie Potter's just misjudged that wrong as the number 7, Vaughan Redford, just skips past him. He sticks out a leg to try and get the ball. In the end, captures the man. And that'll be a free kick to Worksop. Again, like just about midway through the half, they're attacking. But at the moment, it is Worksop that are asking the questions of this Oxford City defence.
Well, I'm quite surprised on how pacey actually Leasley's crosses have been, because they seem to be more loopy in the footage that we watched. So hopefully we can adapt to that going forward.
Leasley is going to have another option at that, so let's see if it's going to be a floated effort or another whipped one. Does whip it in again, in towards the area. Wiggett wins the header, but it bounces out, and who will it bounce to? Again, just scuffed away, but not far enough from Oxford City. Back out to Leasley, who's causing a right ruckus from deep, but that time his cross floats straight into the hands of Sam Lewis. And that's a relief for Oxford City, because at the moment Worksop are piling on that pressure. City trying to play behind, but at the moment the balls just haven't quite been there. Again, looking for Westerdorf over the head. Back over to Ashby, heads it straight back into the danger zone. Westendorf helps it on, and Tom Scott finds Roddy. Roddy sets it to Humphrey Ewers, who just about rescues that pass, but again, it just kind of let the move down there just a little bit. And City will start again, though. It's Josh Ashby has to put his hand over his eyes. The sun is glaring today. It's quite low, maybe causing a little bit of issues visually, as again Worksop continue to press, and Sam Lewis will spread the ball out towards the left to his left-sided centre half Chris Francis. He lofts the ball over to Westendorf. He's lost the header to Ben Sharif, who at the moment has won every header. Burrows wins the header again, and that time it's a sloppy ball from Worksop, and Alfie Potter just nips in ahead. He's had the ball pinched off his feet though, and Leasley will just lay it off to his teammate before getting it back here right on the centre line. He's lent it to O'Malley, who's burst forward. He's continued his run, and Whittam, this time it's his turn to cross, headed out by Wiggett. And City are penned into their half here at the moment. They're keeping a line just in line with the box, and they're dropping no deeper than that. And whilst Worksop spray a ball which is loose, and Tom Scott has picked it, and Tom Scott tries to burst past his man. That'll be the first booking of the game, and I think that is going to be Dylan Cogan who goes into the book. Yes, it is. He is showing the first yellow card. Well, Worksop have been pretty good, to be fair, since going behind Byron Wilson, until those sort of lax passes. They don't want to take their finger off the pulse. They did then, and it's good play from Tom Scott to just snip past him, and he's almost won that booking, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, that goal has really done the opposite of what we thought it would have done to Worksop. They've come out and they've pressed really aggressively, and they've tried to keep the ball as much as possible up until that moment there. But a yellow card for, I believe, the centre-back there is a good thing for us.
Dylan Cogill, the first player in the book. We've had 22 minutes here. It's Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0. A goal after just a minute from Jacob Roddy, giving Oxford City the lead after a breakaway. It has been pretty much all Worksop since then, as they float people forward. I'm just looking at, you've pointed that out to me there, to be fair, Byron, but George Burrows seems to be struggling now. That's two players that are playing for Oxford City, but kind of struggling with a little bit of a niggly injury. Burrows just kind of pulling his right short up to kind of hold his thigh. We'll keep an eye on that, but it's a good spot from you. Free kick taken quickly. Well, George Burrows is pretty quick off the mark there, and he's just stretched at that ball again, not quite cleared far away enough from Oxford City, and Worksop will keep coming forward here. Lewis Whittam, who has been a bit of a danger man, darts for the byline, crosses over, headed by Burrows over to the back post. Janiro Mirage has it only as far away to the back stick, where there's a volley from Deegan Atherton from the centre of the box, just from the edge of the D. He sets himself up and fires towards goal. In the end, it's straight at Sam Lewis, who clutches at it. but it certainly forced the goalkeeper into a save, and that's the closest that the away side have come to equalising. City just trying to play the ball long into Isaac Westendorf. They want a free kick, Worksop, that isn't going to come. The referee's just going to wait to see if Hamza Ben-Sharif is... no, it's not Hamza Ben-Sharif, sorry, I'm not quite sure who that is okay. But as we approach the halfway mark of this game, so Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0. It's also 0-0 at the Hawthorns between West Brom and Oxford United. That's on 95.2 FM with Jerome and the team. Here on Sounds, it's National League North commentary. And then at Brackley, it's currently 0-0 there as well against Boreham Wood. Two of the promoted teams coming up against each other in that game. As Mirage sets it forward to Potter, stretches at it, but it's okay because Westendorf's there. Ashby goes for the spectacular and forces a really good save out of Thomas Taylor, the Worksop goalkeeper, who was at full stretch to just get a strong right palm to it and force that rather whisked effort from Josh Ashby wide of the post. That's Oxford City's second chance of the game, and it's come close again. It's a corner. Chance here, Byron Wilson.
Yeah, it's a great effort from Josh Ashby there, with a very confident player from those type of ranges. We see him do it all the time in training. Definitely off the back of his free kick goal, he'll be looking to add another one to his collection at the moment.
Well, Josh Ashby, after creating that corner, has gone over to take it. Both arms in the air, everyone inside the box making a run. It's whisked in and it's punched behind by Taylor, who was in no man's land there. He's just signalling to the referee that, you know, he's being fouled there. Well, I'm actually quite glad the referee, Mr. Joe Moss, hasn't given that, because Oxford City was stung by exactly that, and not being a foul given against Sam Lewis in the last minute against Leamington. So the referee not being too eager to go to his whistle that time. There was a lot of holding away from the goalkeeper there, which I'm quite surprised Oxford City did get away with. Nevertheless, it's the stuff that happens over every corner, I imagine. But here's Josh Ashby, who's trotted over to the other side of the pitch now to take this corner from the right hand side as we see it from the press box. Again, he's whipped a ball in, this time to the back post. Roddy is pulled down. I don't think there's enough in that for Oxford City to appeal for a penalty. I think Roddy's the only person who was appealing there.
Yeah, it was pretty quickly waved away from the referee.
It was,
there.
wasn't it? I don't think there could be any complaints, and this time though, yeah, there could be no complaints about that, and that's he's a foul, Byron, because Tom Scott has been ploughed through the back of by Hamza Ben-Sharif, who has given Oxford City a free kick, not really from shooting distance, unless you're one of a speculative mindset. You never know with Josh Ashby, it's just a couple of yards, 3 or 4 yards off the centre circle, but it's a chance for everyone from the back to go up. He's taken the free kick quickly. It's nodded back from the edge of the box by the Worksop defenders. Ashby wins that. It's a clattering of heads. Another free kick. Again, just a few yards further forward. Ashby's gone down holding his head there. Alexander Starchenko can't quite believe that it's been given against him, but I can, because you know he's just caught Josh Ashby there. It is a free kick. Ashby has got the physio on, so let's see whether he'll have to go off. I'm not quite sure what the ruling is here. It's kind of made up all the time. A couple of local scores for you. It's 0-0 between Enfield and Tame United in the Southern League Division 1 Central, and Didcot Town are currently 0-0 against Willand Rovers. There have been a couple of goals at Bishop Stortford. It's Bishop Stortford 0, Banbury United 2. Chris Ray and Connor Ferguson have given Banbury a 2-goal lead early on in that game, so an impressive start from the Puritans down at Bishop Stortford. And Ashby is going to have to go off here, so it's going to be Oxford City down to 10 men momentarily. So the Latrell Humphrey has plonked himself in front of this free kick. Now, I did say that there's no way that this is a shooting distance, but I have seen Latrell Humphrey scoring academy games from this, so I just wonder whether he will fancy himself a little bit here, Byron.
Academy games don't count then.
Well, in fact, as soon as I say that Tom Scott's going to take it. So you never know. Tom Scott might go for the spectacular. Who knows?
Westendorf's position is very interesting. He keeps pulling himself onto the number 5 rather than Coble, who's been yellow carded. I think if he'd pulled himself off the number 22, Coble, we could get another red card here.
It's interesting because Tom Scott's also ushering him further in. Scott clips one in. Burrows will go for the ball, and I just don't think he could just manoeuvre his body enough to just could make contact with that ball, but it certainly caused problems. It was right behind the Worksop Town defenders.
It was a very attractive ball from Tom Scott. It was just unfortunate that George couldn't get there.
It was very unfortunate, and there's been a couple of opportunities here for Oxford City as the game is kind of toed and froed. Worksop causing problems from set pieces. It's going to be relentless, isn't it? Really, I think this Oxford City defence are in for a busy day. And as Burrows wins the header, it's a solid header as well. Flicked on by Scott. A loose ball there by Leasley, and Scott has picked up on that. Pokes it round to Westendorf, who turns and tries to manoeuvre himself around the number 4 again. Joe Leasley had worked his way back into more defensive position. Brilliant play from Scott, and he's played through Westendorf here. He just creeps inside the box. Can he find the angle for a shot? Chance for Scott, off the post, and it bounces out. Oh, so close. Oh, and Westendorf goes down. Will that be a penalty? No. And eventually Worksop will clear. Well, that was so close. Brilliant play from Isaac Westendorf to pick out Tom Scott, who's fired a shot from a tight angle, to be fair to him, against the post. And Oxford City were inches away from a 2-goal lead. Oh, Byron Wilson, how close was that?
Well, it's one of the sharpest turns I've seen Isaac Westendorf do. That's left the number 5 on the floor. He slipped in Tom Scott, who loves that run, just on the inside of the defender, and unfortunately he's hit the post, but he'll be looking to get into those positions more and more as this game progresses.
Absolutely, Isaac Westendorf's turn then absolutely took the Worksop defender 2 business days to respond to that. It was that quick. He just had so much space, and that seemed to be the case for Oxford City. When they do get the ball in the final third, they look like they are manoeuvring that Worksop defence here, there and everywhere. But at the moment, it's still 1-0, and that early counter-attack from Oxford City proving to be the difference, and only difference between the two sides at the moment, as Chris Francis is fouled in his own area by Che Whitman-Brown.
Well, I suggested Isaac Westendorf move over to Coburn, but he seems to be doing well up against this number 5, and it got us a good opportunity there, so I'll let him do what he keep on doing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it is a good point you make, though. Dylan Cogill now on a yellow card, and Oxford City causing all sorts of problems in the final third, so you just wonder whether it might not be Isaac Westendorf, but it might be someone else that just starts to play on that a little bit more. As Westendorf just chests the ball in front of him, he'll go shoulder to shoulder with Benchriff, and he just nips ahead just a split second too late as the ball goes out for a throw-in. Half an hour gone here. Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0. You're listening to BBC Radio Oxford via BBC Sounds. And Oxford City taking the lead after just a minute. After Jacob Roddy, who scored the easiest goal he scores all season after a counter-attack, just seconds into this game. Roddy wins the header, bounces back to a yellow shirt of Worksop Town, but it's a good interception from Jacob Roddy, who sticks out his right leg and says, you're not going any further with that attack. And it just allows the Oxford City defenders to go back and sit a little bit deeper. Here's Benchriff, the Worksop captain, who just plays the ball into the opposition half, but he'll get it back. Takes a touch ahead of him. It's a heavy touch, and I almost thought that would have been a bit of an invitation for Westendorf to press a little bit more than he did. Leasley sprays the ball forward, just like a quarterback in American football from that position from deep. But it's found Whittam. Roddy is following his every move, and in the end can't do anything apart from stab it behind for a Worksop corner. Again, a dangerous opportunity here, and they have looked dangerous, haven't they, Byron?
They have indeed. It's very interesting here is that we've seen everybody in Oxford City's box here now. Isaac Westendorf, as we've mentioned a couple of times, getting the first contact is very unusual. Normally we leave 1 or 2 up, but we have to deal with this, so we've brought everybody back.
Everyone back, and a chance here to spray it in towards the box. It's a good punch away from Sam Lewis, the Oxford City goalkeeper, to be fair, and Isaac Westendorf has jumped to get that and moreover kept it in. Second touch is a little bit heavier and he can't quite latch onto it. If he did, he was in there. Ball forward again just threatening to deceive as Benchriff goes up for it. Well, he's out of position here, and I just wonder whether Oxford City will try the long ball. Benchriff again just jogging to get back. I mean, Francis Mirage for Ewers just flips it in to look for Westendorf, who finds Potter, who bursts up the left hand side. He clips it forward to Scott, who's onside here, and he receives the ball with his back towards goal, twists, turns, and he wins a corner. Brilliant play from Tom Scott again there, who's looked like a right thorn in Worksop Town's side. He's hit the post, and for a moment, he's twisting and turning, almost bamboozled them again, but he's won a corner. And now Oxford City have a chance to attack. I just said it at the other end, but Oxford City have looked dangerous as well, Baron.
Yeah, they have indeed. Again, Tom Scott picking up a similar position as we said previously. Alfie Potter becoming a nuisance in the most complimentary way as possible. And yeah, as you said, we've got a corner here, and we're looking dangerous because we've got some imposing figures entering the box now.
Let's see what they can impose. They're lined up on the edge of the area. It's a short one taken, but Ashby has clipped himself in towards the box, and it's punched away by Taylor. And now the Worksop Town fans, you can hear, are getting behind their team. But at the moment, they're penned in at the opposite side of the ground. Worksop, league newcomers. And there's going to be a break in play here because Jordan Burrow's gone down with a little niggly injury. And we're going to have a little bit of a break in play. It's just allowed both teams just to wander over to their respective benches, take a little bit of fluid on board as we have a little bit of time to see how Jordan Burrow is. Don't know whether it'll be one of those tactical ones or not, but it's the Worksop Town fans that are making the noise at the moment.
It does look in some discomfort, to be fair to him, but I'm sure both teams will be very thankful for this break in play. As you said, it's been chaotic from very start to right now with just about 10 minutes left. So I'm sure they'll be looking to regroup, get some information on from Ross Jenkins, who's speaking to Isaac Westendorf at the moment.
Goals starting to go in across the country in the Premier League. It was an absolutely dramatic end at Tottenham. They drew 2-2 with Man United. Man United getting a 90th plus 6 minute equaliser at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but there's not many games, but there's been an early goal in the other one at West Ham. It's West Ham United 0, Burnley 1. Jan Fleming has given Burnley the lead in that one, and it's also Everton 0, Fulham 0 in the other game. In the Championship, it's still 0-0 at West Brom. It's 0-0 against Oxford United, of course, as we go into the last 10 minutes or so of these first halves. That's on 95.2 FM if you have been tuning in on BBC Sounds. It's National League North commentary here, Oxford City versus Worksop. If you do want to listen to Oxford United, it is on 95.2 FM on the digital radios. Well, I think we're going to have a change, so Burrow's going to have to come off here, Baron, and Worksop, they're forced into an early change. Not really the ideal for them, is it?
No, not for them, but very important for us, weakening their side as much as possible. Obviously, we don't like to see people go off with injuries, but from a tactical standpoint, we'd be very happy to see that happen. Well,
he does look in some pain. We do wish him well. And what do you think, though? It's fresh legs, isn't it, though, for Worksop?
And mentioning Arborough's over here, he seems to be work off that injury that we mentioned. He seems to be fine now, so that's very good to see.
Burrow is number 9, Aaron Martin. So Aaron Martin is the man that has been given the job of seeing out the first half and getting Worksop an equaliser in this game. All the while, Mirage was just waiting to take this throw in. Westendorf shrugs off his man. It's not the greatest ball to Humphrey Ewers, and he's had the ball nicked off him. And now here come Worksop. They'll drive down the middle of the field. But that is absolutely brilliant from Isaac Westendorf, the striker, who not only gives Latrell Humphrey Ewers not the best ball, he's worked back to get it back. And there's a ball over the back of the defence. That time Thomas Taylor, the goalkeeper from Worksop, is alert and comes out of off his line to stop Tom Scott from bursting through on goal. But that's brilliant work rate from Isaac Westendorf, who has not had the best of luck when it's come to injuries this season. But he's back in the team. A couple of changes made from Ross Jenkins after that first win in 2 months. You know, a lot of people were expecting him to make a few changes on Tuesday night, kept the team the same, even despite the defeat against Bedford Town. But, you know, that win on Tuesday night had been coming. You'll know it more than most, Byron, as well. The Oxford City atmosphere and dressing room, it doesn't feel like it's a bottom 4 dressing room, but, you know, results do speak for themselves. But Oxford City still in the thick of this battle at the moment.
Well, as you said, there's been a couple of changes, but the thing about Oxford City is that they've got so many great players that it doesn't really affect it that much. So we can kick on with the same tactics and the same positionings and not really have to tweak much. We can just do personnel for personnel, so which is a testament to the team.
Those Worksop fans behind the goal to our left are making a racket, getting behind their team. Here's Cogill, who's on a booking. He'll have to be careful. City haven't really played on that just yet. Leasley clips the ball forward, looking for Whittam, who's pretty much won all the balls. Ashby goes down, nothing given, but it's a brilliant ball from Roddy. He's followed his pass as well. Oh, and it's not the best of balls from Tom Scott, who just tried to pick out Alfie Potter there, and Roddy was away. I think that was an opportunity there for Oxford City that has just gone awry, as we're in the 40th minute. Just over 5 minutes to go until we see how many minutes that the fourth official will add on. At the moment, it looks like Worksop Town are the team that'll be working themselves towards the goal and finishing the stronger of the two, as they have the ball here with Koga. Here's O'Malley, receives the ball on his left foot just inside the Oxford City half and plays it back to Leasley. Right on the halfway line, clips the ball forward, headed back by Burrows, and that's going to be a high foot from Josh Ashby right on the edge of the area. Ashby pleads his innocence. The referee Joe Moss has already made his decision. I've got to admit, I think that's the right decision, but it's an opportunity just from the left of the box for a cross to come in. And straight away, the number 4 for Worksop, Joe Leasley, has plonked the ball on the floor, and you'd imagine that this is going to be whipped into the box again. Another set piece Oxford City need to be aware of.
Well, in my opinion, I think Josh Ashby is very lucky there not to come away with no card, and again, a very dangerous opportunity for Worksop here with Leasley standing over it.
It is dangerous. Now, he could whip it round the other side and completely outfox Sam Lewis here, because it's only a two-man wall of Alfie Potter and Latrell Humphrey-Ewers. Leasley's looking at the box here. Well, let's see what happens. Looks like he's going to put a cross in. He does cross it in. It's right towards the back stick and headed towards goal and over the bar. Oh, well, Hamza Bemsharif came steaming in at the back post and has nodded the ball over the goal. And Sam Lewis will have been quite happy to see that fly over.
Yeah, I think Isaac Westendorf just did enough there to put him off of a free header, so I'll give him the credit there.
He is Sam Lewis. Just trots the ball out, and he's got Wiggett to his left, who just standing still waiting for the ball and eventually receives it. Just jinks back to almost go back, but he's being pressed straight away. He's left it off to Francis, who's clipped the ball down to the channel, flicked on by Westendorf, and again, as it just fall into an Oxford City shirt, it has. Potter, Humphrey-Ewers again coming forward, but Worksop throwing everything at this ball to get it back, and they have. But again, Humphrey-Ewers, brilliant interception from him, sprays the ball out wide to Roddy, who just receives the ball inside the Worksop Town half. He'll cut back though, and they'll just keep possession here. They can get another goal before half-time, Oxford City. It will put them in a brilliant position. But this Worksop team are being... Here's Francis. Back to Sam Lewis, and City just moving the ball around at the moment. Worksop Town just having to move around. Francis, click forward to Mirage, who just brilliantly flicks it onto Scott. He turns and drives forward to goal. Mirage is making a busting run down the left, and it's not a great ball from Tom Scott, which is a bit of a rarity, as he's just tried to find Mirage again, but it goes out for a goal kick. And again, an attack breaks down. It's been a little bit sloppy at times as well, hasn't it, for Oxford City, Baron Wilson?
It has been, so we're very fortunate that we're one goal up. But as it's come into the end of this first half, I'm sure Ross Jenkins will touch on that going into half time, and we're sure to resurrect that going into the second half.
Cogill back to Leasley. Ben Sharif now. He looks up. I think he's going to... Only one way where this is going. Ben Sharif clips it forward. It's not a bad ball. The substitute, the number 9, Aaron Martin, will try and get on the end of that, but he's done well to win a goal there, Charlie Wiggett, just making sure that doesn't go any further. As we come into the dying moments of the first half, it's Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0, and still Jacob Roddy's goal in the second minute, 1 minute and 2 seconds to be precise. is the only thing separating the sides. Worksop have been punting the ball forward, trying to get an equaliser, but it's Oxford City who've come closest apart from that goal. Tom Scott's effort hitting the post. Still the ball twos and fro's, and it's a really scrappy game. Here is Cogill over to O'Malley. It's City's time to turn to press now as the defenders creep forward. Taylor, again ball forward. Mirage wins the header. Over towards the right, Worksop working the way forward. Here's Redford. Has he just slipped, I think, and is that going to go out? It's going to go out for an Oxford City throw in. 30 seconds to go, Byron. What have you made of this first half?
Well, at times it's been quite scrappy, as we've touched on a couple of times, but I think we've been very confident when we did have the ball. Some nice runs in behind. We've had a couple nice little plays with G and Roddy and Alfie Potter especially. So I think even though it's not been one of the tidiest of games, we'll be happy going into half-time if it stays the way it is.
They simply have to, though, don't they, as we wait for the board. Let's see how... 2 minutes, what do you make of that, then?
I think that's an appropriate amount of time left.
2 minutes of additional time, minimum 2 minutes.
Meanwhile, here's Westendorf, who's skipped over the ball, and he's won a throw-in, has he? No.
Should have been.
I thought it should have been as well. Ball again bounces to Ashby, just takes a touch in front of him. He's being nudged off the ball. Ooh, a bit of almost a mix-up in communication between Chris Francis and Trell Humphrey Ewers. Wiggett sprays the ball forward, and there's Roddy, takes a touch down. It's too heavy. Again, Worksop messing around with it in the final third, though, and City have stolen it. Ashby clipped in towards goal. Cogill just stabs it away again as we continue. Burrows just stops the ball and brings it over the halfway line. There's a minute to go here before the half-time whistle. He's got Roddy on, and then Scott, who's under pressure, but he's done excellently to nick the ball through Lewis Whittam's legs. And for Ewers now. Francis just passing it around the back here, Oxford City. Charlie Wiggett just looking for an option. Plays it to Burrows. Burrows down the line, wins a throw-in. Good play from Burrows. As Whittam just throws in the ball back. Burrows just taking his time here over this throw-in. Joe Moss, the referee, trying to hurry him on. And he throws it down the line, looking for Westendorf. Finds him. That's going to be an Oxford City throw. If it goes out, it is. And this is just about 20 yards out, this throw-in. And I just wonder whether Oxford City, if they take it quickly, there's about 20 seconds to go, might just create one last chance. Roddy into Isaac Westendorf. Can he just find his man there? Crosses it in. There's no real danger. And Hamza Ben-Sharif will cross it back down the line. Won by Burrows. 5 seconds to go. Again, smashed down the field. Chris Francis will just let that go towards Sam Lewis. And there goes the half-time whistle. It's a really good half for Oxford City. They took the lead after just a minute after Jacob Roddy's goal. But at half-time here, we'll go back over to the Hawthorns. It's Oxford City 1, Worksop 0.
That's a great sound for Oxford United to hear the home fans booing, because they've been frustrated. Oxford have, after early scares, Oxford have got to grips with what West Brom were doing. They sorted it out between themselves as players, and with a bit of guidance from the sideline in how to frustrate West Brom and how to frustrate a team who are under pressure and not performing to the expectation of the home crowd. The home crowd are now deflated going into the half, and I think the resentment will build. What Rowett will be assessed now, and his team will be, how much have we put into this half? Like I say, because Oxford haven't really ventured out.
When you asked that, I thought it was like a trick question, so I'm glad you gave me the answer.
No,
because it looks like Oxford haven't expelled too much energy.
No, I don't think they have. The Lancashire might say different because he's detached a bit from the rest of the team, but the rest of the squad, certainly the Keersmacher, Brannigan, and the most fortunate, the most happy about how Oxford played will be the two fullbacks in Long and Lee, because they were being attacked at will in the first 10 minutes and it was looking dangerous. Krasnov and Plaheta, to their credit, have done the defensive duties. and by stopping supply to the wingers is the best way to defend against them, because they are still dangerous if they get the ball, especially Johnson.
West Brom have had so much possession, so many balls into the Oxford United box that the U's have dealt with. Be interesting to see whether they think, okay, if we persist with this, we'll get a breakthrough in the end, or whether they feel, okay, we're not getting the breakthrough now, so we're going to have to change it.
My prediction is the players will start getting frustrated and start feeling the effect of the crowd, because you've already seen it in Isaac Price, who was a constant forward. He's now picking up the ball deeper and deeper. That's a great sign for Oxford. That frustration will run through the team if it continues. So have Ryan Mason, has he got the know-how, experience, and quite frankly the guts to say keep going?
Have your say, text 81333, put Oxford at the top of your message on WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Start your message, Oxford WhatsApp. We'll take your voice notes as well. On X, we're at BBC Oxford Sport. Half-time at the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion 0, Oxford United 0.
Your team, always live with our team.
Bedlam at the Kassam Stadium, and Oxford United dance with delight.
Bringing Oxford United fans together.
History to be made. Such a joyous season for Oxford United.
BBC Radio Oxford Sport, the official broadcast partner of Oxford United.
We're in the West Midlands for you this afternoon. Oxford United playing at West Bromwich Albion. The home side have had the lion's share of possession. Oxford United have had to deal with countless balls into their penalty area. It is 0-0, and Oxford have had a chance or two themselves. Here's the Kersmacher to Plaheta, jinking inside a couple of challenges. Finds United's Bulgarian international Krastev. Ball clearance from West Brom. Brannigan's going to try his luck from distance, and the keeper gets down low to parry it away. Griffiths turned it away. There didn't look to be a whole lot behind that from Brannigan. Griffiths, I think, thought it might be going wide. He reacted late and almost too late. Finally gets down and turns it away for a corner. Further reflections on the first half here to come. We'll tell you about our feature games locally as well. Oxford City, a goal to the good.
Potter just trots over the halfway line, finds Mirage, he helps it on to Westendorf, flag stays down, Isaac Westendorf over to Roddy, and after just 1 minute on the clock, Jacob Roddy has given Oxford City the lead.
44 minutes plus stoppage time have happened since then. Have we got half-time, Andy Gate?
Yeah, half-time here, Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0. It's not the only thing that's happened, that Jacob Roddy goal. After just 1 minute, City countering from a Worksop corner to go up the other end and giving Jacob Roddy the easiest tap in that he'll score in probably his entire career. It has been pretty much Worksop knocking at the door to try and get level in this one. They've been the old stereotypical non-league football side, if you like. Big men at the back, lumping balls forward for even bigger strikers to try and latch onto. But at the moment, they've not really troubled Sam Lewis in the Oxford City goal. City, though, have hit the post as well. Tom Scott coming close on one occasion. But at the moment, Oxford City are a goal to the good at half-time. A long way to go in this one, though.
That's our National League North commentary on BBC Sounds on the BBC Sport website and app. A more difficult afternoon in the National League for Brackley Town against Boreham Wood.
Boreham Wood finishing the half as they started it in the ascendancy, and it's a goal for the visitors, and you have to say it was coming. And in the dying seconds of the first half, it's Matt Rush, his 11th goal of the season, a poacher's finish really.
Kieran Bushnell describing the goal, and here now to reflect fully on the first half. Kieran.
Yeah, Brackley 0, Boreham Wood 1 at half-time, and as I mentioned there, Boreham Wood deservedly in front, to be honest. They've been well on the front foot throughout this first half. Really good possession football. They barely let Brackley get a touch of the ball. The goalkeeper, Nathan Ashmore for Boreham Wood, has been largely a spectator. Johnny Maxton's had to make a couple of smart saves, one on 18 minutes, full stretch dive to deny Charlie O'Connell, and then just a minute before the break he dived away to his right again to deny Abdul Malik. But Boreham Wood were always looking likely to score, and in the first and only minute of stoppage time the ball was played into the penalty area. Matt Rush, the Boreham Wood centre forward, prolific goal scorer, scored his 11th of the season with a poacher's finish, and Brackley have it all to do. Half time here at St James Park, Brackley 0, Boreham Wood 1.
And that one continues on the BBC Sport website and app. In the Southern League Premier Central, Banbury United going great guns at Bishop Stortford. Connor Ferguson with 2, Chris Ray with 1. Banbury United 3-0 up at half-time. Division 1 Central down west has got his 6th of the season for Tame, but it's 1-1 at Enfield. It's goalless in the Didcot Town against Willand Rovers game. Let me update you with the scores in the Premier League and the EFL. Earlier on, Spurs 2, Manchester United 2. Spurs thought they'd won it with a goal in the 91st minute. Manchester United with a 96th-minute equaliser. Half-time, Everton 1, Fulham 0. A goal just before the break there for the Toffees. 1-0 Everton. West Ham 1, Burnley 1. Callum Wilson with an equaliser just before half-time. Later, 5:30, Sunderland against Arsenal. Chelsea against currently managerless Wolves is at 8 o'clock kickoff. Championship's early results: Blackburn 1, Derby 2, Hull 3, Portsmouth 2. Pompey's keeper heading over in stoppage time. What would have been a dramatic late equaliser, but John Massinio's side going down 3-2. Millwall 1, Preston 1, also a result. Here are the half times. Middlesbrough, who look set to lose their manager Rob Edwards to Wolves, 2-1 up without him against Birmingham City this afternoon. He was stood down for the game, Rob Edwards. Middlesbrough come to the Sound Stadium a fortnight today on the other side of the international break. Liam Manning desperately needs a win to keep his job. 0-0 Norwich against Leicester at the break. Sheffield United 0 QPR. Chris Wilder's side at the break 0-0 against the West London side at Bramall Lane. Southampton 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. 2 struggling sides. Sheffield Wednesday getting a goal back in that game, having gone 2-0 down. Amas with that one. Big game at the top. Second against first. Stoke 0, Coventry 0 at half-time. Ipswich 1 up at Swansea. And 0-0 Wrexham against Charlton, as it is here at the Hawthorns. West Brom against Oxford. League 1 results: Northampton 2, Mansfield 1. Northampton coming from a goal down to win it. Wycombe 4, Orient 1 a result. The half-times: Blackpool 0, Cardiff 0, Bolton 2, Port Vale 0. Burton, who go to Brackley in the FA Cup second round next month, 2-0 up at Bradford in League 1 this afternoon. Doncaster 1, Barnsley 1 in the South Yorkshire clash. Exeter 0, Wigan 1, Huddersfield 1, Plymouth 0, Peterborough 3, Wimbledon 0, Rotherham 2, Lincoln 0, Stockport 0, Luton 2. Results from League 2: Colchester 0, Bromley 2, Crewe 3, Shrewsbury 1. At half-times: Barnet 2, MK 1, Grimsby 2-1 up at Barrow. Grimsby had led 2-0 at one stage. Goalless between Bristol Rovers and Gillingham. Accrington 2-1 up at Chesterfield. Crawley 1, Fleetwood 0, Fleetwood down to 10 men. Oldham 1 up at Harrogate. It's half-time in South Wales: Newport 2, Walsall 3. Carl Robinson, Salford being held 0-0 by Cambridge United, and 0-0 Swindon against Tranmere at the break. Here at the Hawthorns, 0-0 between Oxford United and West Bromwich Albion. Nick Harris, I mean, it's not been scintillating from Oxford. It's been a little bit more effective than we're used to, and it did get better as the half went on. Would you agree?
I would agree, Drummond. One would hope they've done the hard work. They've got the boos from the crowd at half-time, West Brom going off, and Oxford then can push forward in the game. That might not happen. A couple of contentious points, the penalty, and I've had a really good look at it, and without a doubt he was having his shirt pulled for a fair old distance, definitely in the penalty area, and he was tackled from the side or behind. If the defender got the foot on the ball, that was difficult to see, but the shirt pulling for Lancashire was 100%. Other point, when United were under a lot of pressure early on, we thought United might come out and really push West Brom. We were a little bit unconfident. Turned out completely the opposite. Kieran Brown, God, it's good to have him back in the side, because he was an absolute stalwart when the pressure was really on in that opening quarter of an hour.
Up the Manor says if we snatch what's looking to be an unlikely opener, this West Bromwich Albion crowd will go crackers. I just can't see it though. Swish Yellow says the referee has obviously needed to go into Blackwell's to buy a copy of Refereeing for Dummies, and speculated he didn't have a happy trip to Oxford. Up the Man has also sent a picture of what Cameron Brannigan will look like when Oxford next get a penalty. And suffice to say, he's aged Cameron Brannigan I don't know what he's used to do this, but he looks like he's about 75 and he's on crutches. Thompson and Terry can't say we're great, but we're still in it. It feels like we've missed Vaux's grit and Mills going past the man. massive 45, a point where we'd be solid, but we can get more. Pete says it's a tough watch. The only positive is they haven't scored. I've stopped appealing for penalties. This is just shocking. Defensively, we're solid, says up the Ox. Really got nothing to complain about. Would suggest Long could do with some help. They are picking out their left winger every single time, but attacking, that's atrocious. Zero threat, nothing about us. I reckon it's a confidence problem. Nick, I mean, there were a couple of hits from distance, weren't they? Plaheta drags one at the near post. Brannigan shot saved by the keeper. The penalty shout. That was about it from United, though, in truth.
It was about it, but they're probably certainly the Plaheta chance best in the game. I mean, his Cummings had to make a really difficult save. Yeah, Johnson's caused problems and Mowat in the midfield we know can cause problems. Did they actually cause the Oxford United goalkeeper many problems? Certainly at the other end, Griffiths saw that Brannigan long shot very, very late indeed, and in the end he did well to get down and get it round the post. Perhaps Plaheta should have done better, but he did get the shot away. And penalties, we can talk about them all day long, Jerome.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cummings' best save was probably after a sort of miss-hit clearance by Plaheta. It wasn't really a West Bromwich Albion chance created. But this one on text, note not signed. If we're listening to the commentary, are you watching a different game? West Brom could score, Oxford would go 5 down. Same old Rowett negative football. Not many clear chances for either. Penalty chance for Oxford, we don't get them. We aren't making chances yet. They will come. We need to be clinical when they do. Mills for Plaheta, says Mallorca Mal. Simon asks, is there a new law which says Oxford United are not allowed a penalty? Lancashire definitely wrestled to the ground. Clearly no one was listening, says Darren, when Rowett and Brannigan had their say in the dressing room on Tuesday night, because that was pathetic. Do most of our players have their watches set to a different time zone? They are so far out of it. Players are nowhere near championship level. Linda, we could win this. Got to keep disciplined, and the subs will be important. Why do we ever get a penalty, asked Kev. We've fallen asleep. If Lee's struggling, take him off. Get Davis in. Brown could go to left back. Is Mills injured? Goodrum is able to play. E.g., did he have to serve a ban for the under-21 red card? Says Sean from Tinkoff. Yeah, I believe he is available to play. James, the crane operator, is singing the same song about Gary Rowett that the Millwall and Stoke supporters have been singing in recent weeks. We're not far away from firing on all cylinders, says this one. It's Cutslow yellow. With no gung-ho stuff, let's get at them a little bit though. Here in the Hawthorns, you're hearing a song that first was played here in 1969. It is kind of that nostalgia, that football, that Jamaican, West Indian influence. Bit reggae, bit ska. Harry J All-Stars, I think it was, and the Liquidator played at Wolves, but they banned it there. Also Chelsea, a couple of other grounds, but this is the original and still the best. They do say some naughty words about Wolves though, so while they do that, we'll get you ready for the second half, which is live next.
Every kick, tackle and goal.
And Parker cuts inside. Parker's in here. And City have made it 4-0.
All the action is just moments away.
And it's been taken. All the goals running in.
Banbury United, champions of the Southern League, Premier Division Central.
And we are underway.
This is BBC Radio Oxford Sport. Phil Mercer, Sunday morning from 6.
Every Sunday breakfast, we bring you inspirational stories.
It renews that feeling of belonging.
Stories of belief.
You can most definitely know God, and He can fill the depths of your heart.
Stories of faith.
It's really fun. You get fit and you get to socialise while you're doing it.
Faith groups making a difference.
They have additional 400 to 500 people joining the services.
And offering support and love.
You can just come together, make friends, and just kind of, I think, offload in a way.
Hear a different view of the world every Sunday morning from 6.
BBC Radio Oxford.
Well, welcome back to the M Group Stadium, where we've had a cagey but entertaining game here, as Oxford City lead by just a 1-0 against Worksop Town. That goal coming in the second minute. 1 minute and 2 seconds, I'm told. I need to get that confirmed. might have even been a little bit quicker. We just don't know. But Jacob Roddy's tapping after an Oxford City counter-attack is the only thing that separate these two teams. Both of them out for the second half. No changes at the break for either side, so just the one change from the starting 11 for Worksop, an enforced change after Jordan Burrow went off in the first half and was replaced by Aaron Martin. The referee Joe Moss just checking his watch and putting the whistle to his lips, and we are underway. And Josh Ashby laying the ball to Charlie Wiggett as City get underway. Like I say, no changes, and now we're swapping ends. So Oxford City, as we see it from the press box, shooting from right to left towards the clubhouse end, and Worksop Town in their black and yellow striped shirts, black shorts and yellow socks, going the other way. They've been backed by quite an impressive following from Yorkshire, who have followed the league newcomers, and they are slowly just working their way behind the cipher stand. 45 minutes, a long way to go. I'm joined again by Oxford City defender Byron Wilson, who would have been a break, because here come Oxford City early on. Roddy, cross in, headed away by Atherton, and eventually clipped into the air by the Worksop defence. Still, is it away? It is now. So it'll be another opportunity for me to introduce Byron Wilson. I always say the same thing, fly on the wall in the dressing room, so without giving away too many tactics, what has Ross Jenkins made of that first half?
Well, yeah, obviously he's very happy with being 1-0 up. He just wants to put this game to bed now, really, and just keep everything tidy as much as possible, and really just get one or two more goals and be a happy afternoon.
They'll have to work hard to get them, though, because Worksop have been a tough nut to crack. Even if they did, we'll go behind very early on in this game. Since then, they've shut up shop. And despite Tom Scott hitting the post, Oxford City's chances have been pretty few and far between. Although whenever they do get the ball in the final third, they look like they can create that little bit of magic. They look quite good in front of goal today, Oxford City. But they're being made to work hard to create those chances. Here's Alfie Potter down the left. He'll keep coming forward. He's got Mirage to his left, uses him. Mirage, first time cross, it's not a bad cross as well. Looking for Roddy, the ball just spins across his body though, and he'll just have to work backwards to go forwards here. It's Burrows, finds Ashby. Wiggett. Potter receives the ball. It's a heavy touch from Alfie Potter there, where he had a bit of space. That's unlike him. And eventually the ball will flutter all the way back to Sam Lewis, who'll just wait for the option, and Charlie Wiggett gets the ball in front of him, sprays the ball forward. It's aimed for Alfie Potter, and it bounces behind him and goes to Atherton, who again will go back to Taylor, who I thought for a split second was going to go for a big long pass. Decides against it. Cogill, who's on a yellow card after that first half, will have to be aware of that. Chance here though for Worksop, because they're coming forward through Whittam, the lively Whittam as well, I'd say. Starchenko, Worksop passing the ball a little bit more now. They ditch the kind of let's get it forward as quickly as possible whenever we can, and they are building from the back. Whittam cuts back again. They're trying to work their way down the left hand side, but George Burrows has managed to win a free kick. Does well there, George Burrows, just making sure that Worksop Town don't increase their advantage down the left any further, and winning a free kick to match. It's been the ideal Saturday for George Burrows' dad as well, Steve, who has two sons that he has to pick and choose who to go and watch. His brother Jack plays at Northampton Town, who had a game earlier on and won. He's arrived wearing his Northampton Town shirt, and he's here in time for this game. So he's managed to squeeze in two games, I think, today, George Burrows' dad. So it's going to be a busy old Saturday for him. If Oxford City can see out this victory, then he'll have a even happier Saturday with two victories for both of his sons. But at the moment, City just floating around here, and Sam Lewis's ball goes over the head of the Rose and out for a Worksop Town throw-in. Leasley. Well, this throw has been taken from the dugout, which is pretty close to the centre circle, and Leasley's just moved the water bottles and stuff out of the way to get ready for an absolute giant throw in towards the box. He launches it into the box. It's got some trajectory on it. Burrows wins the header, and eventually Alfie Potter clears. Well, when you've got that in your locker, you may as well, Byron.
Yeah, well, it lined up to be something quite ambitious, but it was almost quite deadly for a Worksop there.
Here's Scott, takes the ball down and just about keeps hold of it. Finds Roddy, who clips the ball up the line, but again Leesley's there. Clip down towards the left-hand channel. Burrows knocks it out. Roddy keeps it in, hooks it down the line, bounces to and fro. Here's Stachenko. Again, Worksop working it down the left. Leesley. Clip ball in. Not a bad ball. Headed back by Francis. Still not clear. Offside. Well, you can breathe a sigh of relief, because that, as you could probably tell by the tone, was a good opportunity. Could have dropped anywhere. Dropped to the feet of Whitman Brown on the edge of the box, but the linesman flag denies him even attempting a shot. Well, it's been a weird game, Byron. Worksop have been threatening in terms of long balls at the back, so the defenders have been busy, but in terms of actually creating chances, they've not really tested Sam Lewis just enough, but they might do here, because they'll come forward through Whitman Brown. Maybe curse of the commentator. He darts for the byline, keeps it in. His cross isn't good enough to beat Ashby. He finds Mirage, but Mirage has had the ball nicked off him, and there's a chance here. Again, they're moving it well. Atherton, centrally, brilliant play from Westendorf. Just tries to buy his team a few seconds. Couldn't quite intercept that loose pass, though. Whitman Brown, again down the right, goes shoulder to shoulder with Mirage, who ushes him into the corner flag. Atherton, crossing towards the box. It's deep. It's headed towards goal, is it? Flicked away by Ashby just. Alfie Potter stretches to get that out of danger, and does, but only as far as Bencherif. And City have been kept penned in to their own half here. Worksop building here. Leesley. Ball forward. Burrows again. Cuts it back to Roddy. Spends it towards Westendorf. Leesley and Westendorf in a tangle. Nothing given. It's good defending from Leesley, I thought that. Atherton. Back down towards Whitman Brown. It goes across his body and towards the corner flag. And Mirage has put it out for a throw in. He's done well to not make sure... Well, to make sure that's not gone out for a corner. But to be fair, with the Worksop throw-ins, they're pretty much the same thing, aren't they? Leesley going over to take this. At the moment, in the first 7 or so minutes in this half, Oxford City have been the ones doing the defending. Throw in, knocked in towards the goal by Bencherif, but it's well caught by Sam Lewis. And there's been a goal in one of our local games at the Hawthorns. West Brom 0, Oxford United 1. Lancashire giving Oxford United the lead there. That's on 95.2 FM if you want to listen to that one. So a good goal there for Oxford United, who lead. Jerome and the team bringing a commentary of that on your DAB digital radio. It's 95.2 FM here on BBC Sounds via BBC Oxford. It is Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0 in the National League North. We've had one goal after 1 minute. Jacob Roddy's goal still the only thing separating the two teams. And Byron Wilson, Oxford City defender, joining me today. I think Oxford City might just need another goal in this one.
Yeah, definitely so, just to put the game to bed really, and then we can move on to our next game. But it's definitely been a slower introduction to the second half than the first half, with Worksop staying on the ball more often than Oxford City, but we'll be hoping to change that very quickly.
It's been a typical scramble. Leesley again sends a ball forward. It's not a bad one as well. Burrows is just tracking Whittam, who's latched onto it rather. Crossing towards the box, headed out by Ashby, who's playing deeper and deeper in that midfield role. He's managed to defend it there. Leesley works the ball over well to Deegan Atherton, crossing towards the box, and that would have been appeal for a penalty from the Worksop fans behind the goal. I think if the referee Joe Moss would have given that, Ross Jenkins might have just thrown his coat to the ground and quit there and then. The referee decisions have gone against Oxford City, because it was never a penalty in a million years. Oh, but Westendorf, has he turned his man? He has. And can he burst for own goal here? He's just managed to get something on the ball. But luckily for the visitors, Mason O'Malley's there just to mop up from behind and play the ball back to Thomas Taylor, the goalkeeper.
Another beautiful pirouette there by Isaac Westendorf that nearly got us in again.
He's almost creating chances himself. He's just looking back to his team saying, come on, what are you doing? Let's keep pressing. Let's keep going forward. He's ushering people forward. He starts the press. For the first time, or maybe even second time this season, Oxford City look like they've even got a half a decent bench with some players back, as Mirage just heads the ball away from Shea Whitman-Brown, DJ Campton Sturridge, Parker, Josh Parker, Ewan Clark, and even Braden Daniel, all attacking options that Ross Jenkins has if he so needs them. But at the moment, with 10 minutes into the second half, it's Oxford City still leading by just a goal to nil. But it's Worksop that are doing all the attacking here, looking to try and get back into this game. Here is Ben Sharif. Taken down by O'Malley over on that left-hand side. He's got Whitton for company, who he uses. Roddy and Ashby both ganging up on the man to try and stop them inching up the field. There's been a goal again at the Hawthorns. It's 1-1 though. Soon as Oxford United take the lead, Josh Madger has equalised there. 1-1 between West Brom and Oxford United. Here, Leasley sends a ball forward. It's won by a yellow shirt, but it bounces to Ashby. Better ball from Ashby this time to Westendorf, who's inside the centre circle as he's back towards goal, spins and tries to send a pass through to Tom Scott, who was running in behind, but again it's mopped up by the Worksop Town defenders. Leasley, again he's through the centre of everything, but at the moment it's Worksop Town coming down the left again. Burrows will jockey Whittam, still going. Burrows getting ahead of him, doing really well there. Oh, in fact he's won a free kick. There can be no complaints about that. Burrows has done well to get in front of his man, and just as he's about to see it out for a goal kick, I think the Worksop Town man has just tried to give him a bit of a shove into the advertising boards whilst the ball goes out. The ball's actually stayed in play, so the referee has no option to give a free kick. If he hadn't have done that, he might have just got ahead of him there.
Yeah, it's fantastic work there by George Burrows. I mean, all game they've got no change out of him, so hopefully he can keep up this form. And as you said, they were really tussling and the ball was still in play.
Yeah, exactly. But the referee's just calling over the Worksop Town centre half and captain Hamza Ben Sharif to just have a word with him here. I imagine there's some words that have been said that the referee doesn't agree with, so he's just putting his point across. But it is going to be a free kick, which is basically like a goal kick for Sam Lewis. Those Worksop fans behind that goal, getting behind their team, very partisan as well, trying to be their team's 12th man. Humphrey Ewers just clips the ball forward. Westendorf will trouble his man. He's just lent in a little bit too much on Deegan Atherton there. I can't complain with that either, to be honest, Byron. Just like that, he leans in Isaac Westendorf, and a lot of the time he does it fairly. That time, not quite.
Yeah, he's an absolute bulldozer, so you can't really complain when stuff like that happens and players go down to the ground. But yeah, unfortunately this time he's been pulled up for it.
Taylor, the goalkeeper. Here's Leasley. He's receiving the ball all the time here and just spraying it forward. Over to the right. Whitton-Brown lays it off. Atherton gets the ball onto that stronger right foot. Cuts inside. Stachenko floated cross in, headed out by Roddy. And there's a race to get out to this ball. It's won by Worksop though. Still, they pen the Oxford City defenders back in. It is pretty relentless stuff from Worksop at the moment. Ben Sharif. Again cross in. Headed back by Mirage. He's the number 7, Redford. Whitman-Brown. Alfie Potter stood up to him there and just managed to clear, just throw in. Well, straight away, Deegan Atherton goes over to take this throw in and says, Leasley, you can have it. Well, he's fooled everyone and taken a short one. He's got the ball back though, so he'll cross it in. Left-footed cross in towards the back stick and headed. That'll be a corner, will it? Oh no. I thought it's a goal kick to Oxford City. I thought that just took a nick off the blue and white hoop shirt there.
Well, thankfully the referee thought otherwise. I think he's done just about enough to put him off there from a free header. And it's just a goal kick for Sam Lewis, thankfully.
So Sam Lewis was waiting for the ball there from the Worksop Town fans. The referee's gone over to him to say something. I imagine the only thing he could be saying is hurry up, but Sam Lewis literally hadn't got the ball, so that's bemused me a little bit. But it's a goal kick for Sam Lewis, who blasts it forward. And at the moment, we've had to wait a while for Oxford City to have a shot on goal. I wonder if one can come soon. The moment the momentum's spinning towards the away side. Can Isaac Westendorf change that? He shrugged off the challenge of one. Spreads the ball out to the left with Mirage. He's just on the edge of the area here, Mirage. Brilliant ball in. And it's just so teasing Jacob Roddy, who almost got there. But Mason O'Malley in the end just had to be safe and tap it behind for a corner to Oxford City. It's
a fantastic ball there from G. He's really tested the goalkeeper there. He didn't know whether to come or go at the end. He's let it go, and O'Malley's just tipped it around for a corner.
Well, let's see what Oxford City can do here. Josh Ashby places the ball on the quadrant. An hour gone. Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0, and that's not changed for about an hour either as well, because Oxford City have taken the lead after 1 minute here. But here's Ashby with the corner. In towards the box, everyone misses it, and his shot from Jacob Roddy deflected and behind. Referee has just seen an infringement there, though it wouldn't have counted. Free kick to Worksop, and I don't think I can disagree with that one either. I think there was a foul in there.
Yeah, George Burrows just leaves his shoulder in the back of his marker there, and is rightfully so pulled up.
Oxford City just need that second goal here to give them a little bit of breathing space, because that lead is extremely slender, and at the moment it's Worksop Town that are asking all the questions. At the moment Oxford City are answering them though. Still 1-0. This player's going to have to stop here for a head injury. Well, again, Josh Ashby's been involved in 2 of these. The physio's on, he's going to have to go off again. So City are going to have to make do with 10 men again for a moment as he deals with this head injury. City still having to work hard. The only bad news for Oxford City is, as it stands, they're out of the relegation zone as it stands. The only bad news is Southport have got 10 men away at Hereford and winning 2-0, which means that the teams in and around Oxford City are picking up some points. Alfreton and Leamington are the bottom 2 now, but it's extremely tight down there. You know, you never know how big these results will be until you look back at it in sort of April, May time. It could be absolutely pivotal, this game, and what a run could do for Oxford City. And I wonder how much pressure Paul Caddis would be under at Hereford as they losing again. Josh Ashby's going to have to go off here temporarily. The Oxford City substitutes are warming up. I wonder if Ross Jenkins will be tempted to make a change. It's still 1-1 at the Hawthorns between West Brom and Oxford United, and United taking the lead through Lancashire there. Again, in and around them, not everyone loses. It's only the Sheffield Wednesday that are losing, who are bottom of the league, obviously. Norwich and Sheffield United still drawing. Norwich drawing 0-0 with Leicester. Sheffield United 0-0 against QPR so far. Incredibly tight in all of these divisions, isn't it, at the moment? Humphrey Ewers. The ball bounces to Francis. Just manages to squeeze the ball out to Roddy. He's done well to do that, actually, under pressure. Burrows. Wiggett now. City's centre half in the back 3. Francis turns and clips the ball into the left-hand channel. Potter's underneath it. He just tries to flick the ball past Ben Sharif, who does well not to foul him, to be fair, and hit it down the line. Miraz just stops it from gaining any further. And still taken down by O'Malley and clipped out of play and over the stands to our left. And out for an Oxford City throw in. And there's going to be a bit of time now for, not quite sure who that is, but someone's lost the boot from the Worksop team and they'll have to put it back on. 65 minutes on the clock, Byron. Oxford City digging deep. It's a bit of a tense affair, though, isn't it, if you're listening from an Oxford City perspective? They need to create a chance and to almost put this game to bed, if you like.
Yeah, definitely so, especially with only the one goal cushion. It's one of those where anything can just change it, and it becomes 1-1, and then it becomes a real fight until the end. So we'll be looking to change the dictation of this game and hopefully get a second goal.
He is Alfie Potter, who's just not really got any options on. He's found Ashby, who's done incredibly well to find Mirage from a very, very tight angle. That was brilliant from Ashby, and he's just won a throw in as well. No space to play in there at all, but he's managed to do it. Mirage will pick the ball up from the line. He needs an option. He's only got Westendorf down the line. Needs someone showing for him here. He does try and find Westendorf. He does. He's held off his man. Westendorf's done brilliantly to find Ashby. Over to Potter, who's just drifted out to the left-hand touchline. He's got two yellow shirts stabbing underneath him to try and win that ball, and they do. And again, this scrappy affair continues. Mirage tries to jink past his man. It's not paid off, and he's had the ball stolen from him. Now here come the away side. Che Whitman-Brown down the right. He's tripped up by Mirage, and he's won. Oh, well, he's seen it out, and Majiniro Mirage has purposely seen that ball out, but it's a corner. Well, he did really well there, but has left that ball, and it's going to be a corner. Well, he's annoyed by that. You would be. I wonder how costly that could prove. It's another set piece for the visitors here. Well, right in front of the small contingent of travelling Worksop fans who are banging that drum quite literally for their team. Leasley, left-footed in swinger. It's not a bad effort. Bounces around and eventually cleared. That was dangerous. Jacob Roddy will sprint out to try and meet it, and he's done really well there, Jacob Roddy, to do just that. Smother Deegan Atherton and stop that attack from gaining any momentum, which seems to be the phrase at the moment, Byron. It is all Worksop Town at the moment. City just sort of sitting back and trying to soak up that pressure. Headed on. Oh, there's a chance here. It's clipped into the air. And in the end, it's inadvertently good defending from, I think it's Charlie Wiggett, who slides the ball in the air and stopped it from bouncing towards the feet of Aaron Martin, the number 9. And Sam Lewis will just slam the ball back towards Bencherif, who just nods it back into those dangerous areas. Well, it's tense here. Leasley darts down the left, again stopped by Tom Scott. Josh Parker is getting ready. There is going to be a change for Ross Jenkins now, and it's going to be Parker, who was started on Tuesday, who he's going to come on for. It'll be interesting to see if that is going to be a straight swap or he's just going to add a little bit more firepower. Meanwhile, throw in to Worksop, and you know where this is going from Leasley. It's a long one. It's all the way in towards the box, over the head. Bencherif flicks it on. Ashby heads it back. Again back in and flicked towards the goal. But there's Sam Lewis straight in front of it to collect it. Or do you think this will be a straight swap for Oxford City, Byron? Or do you think this might be a little bit of a tweak in formation? What do you think?
Well, I was going to.
Oh, he's offside. Well, I thought he'd been stung for the 8 seconds there. I was speechless for a second there, Byron, as Sam Lewis was holding on to the ball. The referee had given offside, and he blew his whistle. And I thought for a second he had the ball in his hand so long he'd been stung for that 8 seconds. I think Sam Lewis did as well. It's a free kick for Oxford City, and he will smash it long. Those Worksop Town fans are making a real racket behind that goal. Again, Westendorf just trying to get stuck in, throw into Oxford City. They'll just wait ever so slightly, and now the referee is going to have a word with Leasley again. And he's had a word with the Worksop players already and said this is your last warning. He's having another word with them to say this is your last warning. So I wonder how many last warnings they're going to get. Meanwhile, Oxford City are going to make that change, and it is going to be Alfie Potter for Josh Parker. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, I think Alfie Potter's really well here, so it's unfortunate to come off, but I think it's a good swap, and it'll be a straight swap as well.
Alfie Potter is number 14 and sponsored by Nick and Sandra Moore, Josh Parker.
Josh Parker introduced. It just gives City a couple of options, as they've not really been able to create much at the moment. And Parker, who's had a bit of a busy week, On Monday he was at Baller League. On Tuesday he was helping Oxford City to their first victory in 2 months. He's been had a busy week training, and now he's on again. Ball forward, Westendorf will chase. He's just offside. Oh, wonder if didn't look offside from here, Byron, but linesman was very short.
Well, we've had a couple of those linemen that seem to be sure, and when we look it back, they've got it very, very wrong. So
you're not wrong yourself, because you're absolutely right there. But still, Worksop are peppering this Oxford City defence with long balls up from the back. Throw in though to Oxford City. There's been another goal at the Hawthorns with 20 minutes to go. West Brom have turned it around. It's 2-1 in the Midlands. That's on 95.2 FM via BBC Radio Oxford if you want to listen to that one. Orne Seland Hagobi. I've got that name wrong for sure, but he scored. That's live with on BBC Radio Oxford on 95.2 FM. Here live on Sounds. 20 minutes to go in the National League North as it's Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0. Oxford City taking the lead after just a minute through Jacob Roddy, and that's all she wrote at the moment. Tom Scott's hit the post, but it is Worksop Town that are peppering the box. But at the moment, Oxford City answering all the questions. It is relentless though, and City, you get the vibe with the way this season has gone, need another goal. Ben Sheriff. Cogill. Over towards the left, Mirage heads it out. Parker's back there defending as well, and you can understandably see that Deegan Atherton has seen that out for a Worksop throw, because Joe Leasley, in fact I was going to say he was going to go over to launch this into the box. In fact he's gone for the short option. And there's a chance here, bounces around inside the area, somehow clear, only as far as another Worksop player. They've still got the ball in, still not gone out. Well, the ball's in the back of the net, it's gone out for a corner. Well, it won't count. Everyone's stopped. Corner to Worksop. Well, I didn't see that go out.
Well, I think that's the wrong decision. It's definitely gone out, but I believe that's a goal kick, and he's given a corner, which the Oxford City players are definitely making him making that as well.
Absolutely. Still 1-0 for clarity for Oxford City, but that could change because Joe Leasley is about to whip in a corner kick here. Worksop in towards the near post, bounces around, and Mirage fires it away from goal. Josh Parker will sprint out, but the ball's been played back to Taylor, the goalkeeper, who sends it all the way back. It has been that game pretty much. Wiggett wins the header. Scrappy game here for Oxford City. They're having to dig their heels in extremely hard to try and stop this, but at the moment the momentum is with Worksop. But they've not been able to threaten Sam Lewis too much, but there have been really nervy moments, as you would expect with balls being pinged into the area. There's going to be a change for Worksop here. It's going to be number 2 on Regan Hutchinson for number 15. Well, that's interesting. Bit of an attacking change there, Byron.
Well, yeah.
Worksop replacing number 15, Anderson, is number 2, Regan Hutchinson.
Bit of an attacking change.
Well, yeah, I think they're just really going to start throwing everything at it now, and
they may as well.
So it's shown in that substitution.
They may as well, and Leasley has got a free kick just in front of the halfway line and will pepper this forward. Oxford City creating their line on the edge of the box, but it's not a bad effort. Everyone on side, headed out by Mirage and Wiggett, and then Josh Parker will take the ball down and try and counter. He sprays the ball over to the left. Here's Mirage, who tries to pump the ball forward inside an area, doesn't quite get it right. He just puts his head in his hands and screams Mirage, but he needs to get back into his position because Worksop have the ball.
Yeah, he's understandably frustrated there. We all know he's got a little bit more quality than that, and it was definitely a good opportunity there with Isaac Westendorf going down the middle and Josh Parker making a good run inside as well.
Burrows and Roddy linking up there to play out. Here's Latrell Humphrey-Ewers, who clips the ball forward. Again, these balls behind the defensive line have just got too much power on, and they just keep landing at the feet of Thomas Taylor, the Worksop goalkeeper. Hutchinson, the substitute, has his first touch. He plays it back to Ben Sharif, and there's Parker, who will press. Westendorf will join him, but they've moved the ball from right to left. Clipped forward, looking for an option. They find one, they nod it in towards the box. Burrows just sticks a leg out, but it's not quite cleared as far as City would like. They're still playing around with it in a dangerous area, and that will be handball. That's incredibly harsh. It would have been a corner anyway, but that ball has been hit slap bang against Josh Ashby's hand from about point blank range and given as handball. Well, I'm not sure if you share that sentiment, Byron, but I think that's incredibly hard. Free kick though to Worksop right outside the box, and it's another dangerous area. They're just having so many of these at the moment. Is it just a matter of time until one of them hits the target? You just don't know, but at the moment it is all Worksop in what is a pivotal game here in National League North for both of these teams. Leasley will take, as he has done all game. Over the wall, not a bad effort, flick towards the back stick and not quite controlled. Goes out wide again. Can they get the ball back into the box? Parker, brilliant. Well, Josh Parker, the attacker, has just done brilliantly defending there. He's stood up to his man and not let him pass. Throw in taken short to Hutchinson. Regan Hutchinson sprays it out to Leasley, gets it onto that stronger left foot, clips the ball in. It's not a bad ball, and it's met by the head of a Worksop player and headed wide. Jacob Roddy wants a foul. It was never coming, in all honesty. And really, I think we'll watch that chance back and think that Worksop should have done a lot better with that. 15 minutes to go. Still, Oxford City 1, Worksop Town 0. Still, Jacob Roddy's goal after just 1 minute, the difference. And apart from Tom Scott hitting the post, that's really the only chance we've pretty much had that's of any note.
Yeah, everything else has really been in the middle of the park and a couple of long balls, but I'm sure Oxford City will be quite happy to see this game out at 1-0.
Well, Sam Lewis is going to get a booking here. It's a yellow card for Sam Lewis for delaying the restart from a goal kick. He's pulling out all the tricks in the book. It's a better distribution from him as Parker nods the head on for Westendorf to chase, and Westendorf, moreover, has kept it in. He cuts back. He's found Roddy, who gets it onto that stronger left foot. He needs an option. Has one with Ashby, who's just trying to sneak forward here. Has he won a throw-in? He's done well again there, Josh Ashby, to win a throw-in. Unfortunately for Oxford City, they don't have a player like Joe Leasley who can whip a throw-in into the box with the same trajectory as a corner. Taken quickly. Here's Humphrey Ewers, who's mobbed, just about gets the ball out of his feet. Ashby, brilliant ball to Scott, pulls it across goal, it's parried out. Oh, and that's going to be a penalty, surely. Oh, it's not been given. Oh, I can't believe it. Well, how is that not a penalty to Oxford City? Jacob Roddy goes in, he's been taken down, as is Westendorf, who still remains down. And I think the referee perhaps has just bottled it there. I think there couldn't be anything. That's my view anyway. I think Oxford City have been denied what would have been for me a penalty. What do you think, Byron?
Well, there's two opportunities there to give a penalty, and he's given neither of them. Roddy was the first one, and Isaac Westendorf with the second one with a kick out from the centre back. But that first one on Roddy, I think that's a stonewall penalty. He's gone in and he's tried to volley it, and the lads just wiped him out completely.
Yeah, well, Isaac Westendorf has been. Well, Leasley's gone up to him and had a few choice words to say to Isaac Westendorf. He's going to have to come off the pitch because Jazz Simpkin, the Oxford City physio, literally just took a step onto the pitch, and that meant the physio was on, which means Isaac Westendorf has to come off for as many amounts of seconds. Well, now it's Worksop Town who are being the frustrated side as that ball is hit into the air by Francis. Westendorf is now ushered back on, and eventually the ball will bounce into Lewis, who just does that old goalkeeper trick of just keeping the ball in front of him and just letting the pressure come to him before he picks it up. And talking about pressure, Oxford City are under plenty at the moment, but they had a brilliant opportunity there. I thought they should have had a penalty. It'll be interesting to see that back.
Yeah, well, until the 70th minute, I thought the referee had an uncharacteristically good game, but he seemed to have let himself down in the last 10 minutes.
And Francis has just not quite got as much on that clearance as he would have wanted. Josh Parker has done well though to win the throw-in. He's doing the dirty work for his team in terms of defensively. He needs to keep on doing that. City's lead slender. It's the slenderest of margins, isn't it? But it's a margin that would make all the difference at the moment. 11 minutes to go. Oxford City 1, Worksop 0. How long will it stay like that? Westendorf just finds Scott, who just tries to nick the ball past Ben Sheriff, who does well, to be fair. to keep that from going forward to Scott. Ball forward again, all the way down the left, and here come Worksop. They'll enter the box here. Roddy just sticking a leg out. Oh, and that shot hits the side netting. Could have gone anywhere. Gone wide. Oh, Byron Wilson.
That's heart in mouth there. It was very, very close to being 1-1 in a very tense 10 minutes, but thankfully it's gone the right side of the post in the Oxford City perspective.
At the moment, Oxford City living life on the edge again. They're doing the defensive work, but it doesn't help you if you're from a nervous disposition. An Oxford City fan or commentator.
Yeah, it's definitely not one to watch before
Roddy's
going
gone
to bed.
down off the ball there.
Card, definitely.
Well, Lewis Whittam has just looked like he's lashed out there at Jacob Roddy. He's gone down. The referee's given it. Now, it's a yellow card to Lewis Whittam. Now, if he's lashed out in the face, if it's an elbow or whatever, it's a red card. So the referee's just looked right at it. It's probably a lot of Jacob Roddy going down of his own accord as well. Let's just see. Let's just see what Oxford City have got in the locker here. They have been in this position a couple of times this season. At Leamington, you know, there were a lot of similarities between the Hereford game and Leamington in terms of the red card, but in terms of the game, Leamington stayed in it all the way towards the last minute and scored right at the very death. They have to make sure they can't do that again. Burrows does well, nips in front of his man, bursts down the line, keeps going and smashes the ball forward. He'll go all the way to Thomas Taylor, but he's just gained his side yards.
Yeah, we have to play this last 9 minutes very smart now, and George Burrows there just showing us what that looked like.
Mirage just tries to take the ball down, but he's nodded it inadvertently into the path of Hutchinson. Here's the lively Whitman Brown, who will work his way down the right. Mirage, corner in, it could go anywhere, and Jacob Roddy has to make sure that he puts that behind. And for a moment it could have dipped in at the back stick, but there was no one from Worksop Town just trying to nip in ahead to tap home. Roddy has to do that. Corner to Worksop.
Well, yeah, it looked like he had taken the ball too far wide to get that cross in, and I think that's what the rest of his teammates thought as well. As you said, there was no one in the back there.
Corner whipped in towards the back stick. Wiggett wins the header. Bounces out to Bencherif, who chests the ball out of the area and towards the corner flag. He's ushered by Francis. That hits the hand of Bencherif. Nothing given. Well, that's a little bit harsh. It's going to be another throw in. Leasley will run all the way over from the left to the right hand side to take this. But if that's a handball against Josh Ashby just a few moments ago, that's quite harsh that Oxford City haven't been given a free kick there. Throw in from Leasley, taken and sent straight back to him. He'll cross the ball in and he'll go out for another corner. Well, it's just a game of percentages at the moment, and the percentages are corners. Balls into the final third. It's direct, but it's working for Worksop. They're creating so many chances. Leasley, corner in, punched away by Lewis, bounces around in the area, still a crowd of shirts. Back to Leasley, onto that left foot, back over to the right, crosses it in again, back stick, and it's just behind all of the yellow shirts. Oh, well, how often can Oxford City live like this? As the ball goes all the way back to Taylor, and he will literally just slam it all the way back down the other end of the pitch.
Well, Oxford City are getting really penned back there. I think everyone was almost in that 6-yard area there instead of trying to keep it as far away from the goalkeeper as possible.
Well, it's bounced around in the edge of the area, and Worksop have another opportunity for a cross here. Goes one way and then the other. He's beaten his man there. Whittam crosses it in and headed out. And Tom Scott, the ball hits him. He's out for another corner. Well, Darnell Johnson is being readied here for Oxford City. It's another defensive change. I wonder if it will be Isaac Westendorf off for Darnell Johnson. Well, let's see who this is going to be. Well, let's see. Byron Wilson, all eyes on the board. We will have a look. It's going to be number 22. Is that going to be Janiro Mirage? It is. What do you think of that change?
Well, I think that might be just because of the crosses coming in. We need more imposing figures, and not to be rude to G, but he's not one of the tallest lads on the pitch. So I think that's what that comes down to.
Substitution for Oxford City, replacing number 22, Janiro Mirage. is number 6 and sponsored by Homes for You, Darnell Johnson.
Well, Mirage is just running to the centre here. He's going to get it. Well, Mirage is just trying to waste as much time as possible. Regan Hutchinson pushing him over towards the away from the centre. He ran straight to the centre of the pitch. Oh, there you go. Well, on comes Darnell Johnson. The first thing he's going to have to do is defend this corner. Everyone is in the 6-yard box. Another corner about to be floated in. Dangerous towards the back stick and headed behind. That's going to be a goal kick. It is. Worksop are fuming. They thought that was a corner. I've got to admit, I thought that was the right call. I think that is a goal kick. But 5 minutes to go. Oxford City 1, Worksop 0. This is your last chance if you want to listen to the last remaining moments of the Hawthorns in the Championship. It is West Brom 2, Oxford United 1. That's on 95.2 FM with Jerome on the team on your digital radio. Or you can stick with us here on BBC Radio Oxford via BBC Sounds for the last 5 minutes of this National League North game. Oxford City's lead is slender, but it's still a lead. And here comes Scott. He just tries to pinch a ball through to Westendorf, but it goes wayward. And here come Worksop again. It is absolutely relentless stuff here. Ball over towards the right. Whitman Brown, he must be mentally draining this as a player, Byron, just to literally just sit stuck in and just try and defend.
Well, I think if you look at our back line now, everybody's over 6 foot tall, so I think that's that was the intention of that substitution there, just to try and get us in the best possible position with these crosses and corners and throw-ins.
Darnell Johnson hasn't played for a while. He just leaves that chance, and attendance of 524 today. What do Oxford City need to do here now, Byron Wilson, to see it out?
Well, it's these last 4 minutes here that they just need to keep the ball as much as possible and try and keep it down the Worksop end.
Thank you for your support this afternoon.
Here's Parker, just nods the ball forward, and Scott will race onto it. It's over on the right. Can he find Westendorf? Ball into the middle. Yes! Westendorf scores! And Oxford City do have that 2-goal lead. Brilliant from Oxford City, who have barely had a chance in the second half. Joe Leasley goes to the floor. It's been absolutely relentless stuff from Worksop, but twice in this game Oxford City have caught them on the break, and Isaac Westendorf is back on the score sheet and has surely won Oxford City this game.
Well, there we go. I mentioned keeping it down the Worksop end, and it's fantastic work there.
Scored by number 9 and sponsored by Contracts, Isaac Westendorf.
Well, the PA announcer's getting a bit carried away there at the Emirates Stadium. But he has just probably secured a massive victory for Oxford City. Back-to-back wins in the National League North, surely for the first time this season, if they can stay ahead. 2-0. All the credit as well, Byron, needs to go to Tom Scott, who latched onto that ball, picked his head up and found Westendorf in the box for a tap-in. Well, it's almost a carbon copy of the first goal, but they've bided their time, soaked up the pressure, and although it's been relentless stuff from Worksop, they've managed to keep their heads above water and catch them on the break. It's been brilliant from Oxford City in that respect, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's great work from Tom Scott, as you said, making something out of nothing in these late stages of the game, and it's sort of even better ball across to Isaac, who's busted a lung to get into that position and thankfully took it away.
Well, that has got to have had a negative effect on the mindset of these Worksop players who, well, I imagine we need to check on Joe Leasley's left foot, because it's been absolutely smashing the ball forward all afternoon. The board is getting prepared here. Burrows wins the head. Underneath it's Parker. That'll go down and that'll be a free kick. Byron, who's been your man of the match today?
I think for me, Isaac Westendorf has been absolutely phenomenal.
Oxford City man of the match, sponsored and picked by our 1882 club, our former players association, goes to Oxford City's number 5, Chris Francis.
Chris Francis has been given the sponsors or man of the match. Who's yours?
I mentioned Isaac Westendorf just before he's gone down. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal, and rightly so. He's got his goal, especially after his unselfish pass for Jacob Roddy in the first minute of the game as well. He's just getting stretched out now with looks like cramp.
You could see it as a time wasting tactic, but it's genuinely not. Oxford 2 goals to the good, and he's going to have to go off here, is he? Well, the referee's going to have to go over here. What's he saying now? Fourth official's going to go over. It's a yellow card for Ross Jenkins. He said something there. I'm not quite sure what. But the Worksop Town players complaining. It's all a bit chaotic. We're not really sure what's going on. There's one thing we are sure of. Oxford City lead by 2-0. And how important could that win be? We were talking earlier on about how big results are, not just in momentum, but when you look back at it at the end of the season, and with results going the way they are, as it stands, Oxford City are going out of the relegation zone on goal difference. They might try and fancy themselves for another. They've still got to be aware, though, because if Worksop get a goal now, we might just have a grandstand finish on our hands still. City still have to stand up to this challenge. Cross in, chested down, sent towards goal, and it's not far away. Wow, a curling effort with the right foot. I'm not quite sure who it was, but it almost outfoxed Sam Lewis, who again was just happy to watch that drift behind the post. Well, we were a minute into added time. We're still waiting to see what has been given. Well, let's see if the fourth official fancies putting up his board. We're into added time. We don't know how much added time we've got. But as it stands, Oxford City are just a few moments away from securing back-to-back wins and rising out of the relegation zone in National League North. Flicked on, chance again. Roddy just trying his best to get in front of his man, and it is hooked away, but still works up with the ball in a dangerous area. City will want to preserve that clean sheet as well. Leesley headed down and collected by the goalkeeper Sam Lewis. Well, that's a good moment for your goalkeeper, who's looking for back-to-back clean sheets as well, Byron.
Yeah, he'll be very happy with the way this is going now for his second clean sheet in a row.
Brilliant play from Lewis there. Darnell Johnson heads the ball down the field, taken by Vaughan Redford. And it's all the way back down to Westendorf. And City have made their quality show in this game. They've soaked up all the pressure from these Route 1 balls. But when they've had a chance to play football, they have. And they've cut through Worksop's defence with 2 counter-attacks. Shouts of corner, but Parker's done excellently. And they've played through them again. Roddy crosses the ball in, looking for Scott, and headed over. And will that go out for a corner? Not quite. Bounces back to Roddy again. Will he dart for the corner here? He'll just find Parker. City just trying to play a little bit of keep ball at the moment, which isn't the worst of tactics here. Roddy. Humphrey Ewers clips it forward. I think he was looking for a run. Isaac Westendorf's absolutely dead on his feet there. He's run himself into the ground. It's been a horrible game to play as a striker, but for all the running he's done, he's got his just rewards at the end, because you have to put in the dirty work in these sorts of games. Still going, the ball just goes across his man. That'll be a throw into Oxford City, and in frustration, Che Whitman-Brown crosses the ball. He just let it go ahead of him too much. And Worksop's difficult week, where they've had to do an incredible amount of travelling. You know, they went to Darlington on Tuesday evening after a really positive result at home to Scarborough, and then they've had to come all the way back down to Oxford. But as Oxford City go into a brief little break with the Cup on Saturday, they're about to finish this league campaign with back-to-back wins. It's been a brilliant game for Oxford City in terms of biding their time, soaking up the pressure. They took the lead after just a minute through Jacob Roddy from a counter-attack. And apart from Tom Scott hitting the post, it's been... Oh, there's a chance here. Lewis flaps to the ball. Offside. It wouldn't have counted anyway. But even despite Worksop just punting the ball forward at every opportunity, the City defence have dealt with everything. In hindsight, they've not really been troubled, but it's not quite the same when you sat here in the press box and watching the game. You always get those jitters, and by hook or by crook, City have managed to defend. But as we enter the final minute of this game. Oxford City are about to maybe just about turn their season around with a couple of very good victories which they've had to work really hard for. Ball from Burrows just into an area looking for Ashby, who's not going to get there. It'll be a goal kick to Worksop, and almost now with a minute to go it's a stay of execution. Took until the 90th minute where Isaac Westendorf slammed the ball into the back of the net after Tom Scott's cut back after another counter attack. But it doesn't matter how they go in as long as they do. Oxford City haven't been at their brilliant best. There's been games this season where they've been superb to watch and not won the game. These last two, they've had to really be dogged, and they're going to come out with 2 victories unless something remarkable happens here. Cross in towards the box. Darnell Johnson heads it away. Tom Scott slips as he just tries to clear that. Corner ball in, and then Sam Lewis manages to claim. He throws the ball out straight away. It's not the best of clearances, but we've had the 5 minutes. They're into added on time here. The referee, I'm just wondering whether he's going to look at his watch here. Let's see what he does. Leasley, ball forward to Ben Sharif. Worksop just sending everyone forward. Ball forward again, and Lewis claims it will be 2 clean sheets for him as well, and the defence, who have worked incredibly hard today. He's ushering everyone forward. The referee's counting down. He needs to take this quickly, Sam Lewis, as he boots the ball down the field. Still, we've not had the final minute. Bounces back to Scott. Could City add another one here? Ashby back to Scott, and Scott's in again. Could it be another carbon copy? Scott just cuts back for the corner. Better to be safe than sorry. Goes down inside the area, nothing given. He's shoved. That's got to be a free kick. Throwing to Worksop. I'm not quite sure how that's a free kick. We've had 6 minutes of the 5 added on. Surely there can't be long left, and Oxford City are about to celebrate here, surely, as soon as this throw-in's taken. The referee looks at his watch, and there goes the final whistle. It's back-to-back victories for Oxford City in National League North, and just as they were staring down the barrel just a few days ago, 2 big victories, perhaps not the prettiest to watch or even listen to, have managed to salvage them a few points, and they are out of the relegation zone. Thanks for joining us. We'll go back to the Hawthorns for the last moments of that game. It's finished here. Oxford City 2, Worksop Town 0. Thank you, Brian.
After a week that's yielded 1 point from a possible 9, they remain above the relegation zone, but the gap is closing.
Yeah, this is the result is a result of mismanagement in the second half and not realising the outstanding position that their hard work had got them to. I got no complaints for the first half at all. I thought it was what you would expect from an away performance after a defeat in the week. What happened in the second half was, after taking the lead, it was just mismanaged in terms of not being able to keep West Brom at bay directly after scoring a goal, in terms of and it's ultimately really disappointing from a game which Oxford should have got something from.
Wasn't it? The game follows. You can have your say. 0808 100 9100. Send a voice note to WhatsApp 08000 321 333. The Oxford players applauding the Oxford United fans, who largely have stayed and largely are applauding them off the field. Premier League, Everton winners over Fulham, West Ham winners over Burnley. Later, Sunderland against Arsenal, Chelsea against Wolves. Championship, Middlesbrough 2-1 up at home to Birmingham late on. Norwich have conceded late against Leicester. Liam Manning could be for the chop, you would think. Norwich 1, Leicester 2. Goalless, it's finished between Sheffield United and QPR. Sheffield Wednesday beaten at Southampton 3-1. Coventry 1-up at Stoke in the 10th minute of stoppage time. Ipswich 4-1 winners at Swansea. Wrexham 1, Charlton 0 in the 11th minute of stoppage time. One score to pick out for you from League 2. Swindon 2, Tranmere Rovers 1. Local scores for you. Oxford City 2-0 winners over Worksop this afternoon. Back-to-back wins for City in National League North. Brackley beaten by Boreham Wood in the National League in our 2 commentaries online. Southern Premier, Bishop Stortford 0, Banbury United 4, Chris Ray, Connors Ferguson with a hat-trick with the goals. Enfield 1, Tame United 1, Southern League Division 1 Central, Dan West with his 6th of the season. Lengthy injury delay there though. 1-1 between Didcot and Wyland Rovers in Division 1 South of the Southern League. This is BBC Radio Oxford Sport at the Hawthorns, where Oxford United took the lead against West Bromwich Albion, but go home empty-handed. Have your say on Wasn't It the Game? Nick Harris, James Robert, Eddie Odiambo with me. Reaction from Nathan Cooper from the Oxford United camp coming your way as well. But we want to hear from you. Send your voice note to WhatsApp 08000 321 333 with Oxford at the top of your message, or give us a call 0808 100 9100. Wasn't It the Game is live next. Good evening from BBC Radio Oxford Sport. This is Jerome Sale at the Hawthorns with Wasn't At the Game. Oxford United led in this one against West Bromwich Albion, but leave the West Midlands empty-handed. Now Beheta, first chance to really run. Mowatt's come across and Beheta's got the legs on him and he's crossed it to the near post. It breaks to Lancashire! Oxford lead! The man on loan last season at the Hawthorns scores against them for Oxford United. A simple goal as you'll see, but just the sort of goal you love to see. The winger getting down the line, centering it, and the centre forward touching it home. It's Will Lancashire. Here comes Johnson into the area and Styles to West Brom, shoots, and it hits Greg Lee and goes in. That's no goal. I think Cumming parried it, and it hit Greg Lee and it went in. And just like that, we are all squared. United under the pump again, crossing into the penalty area, goal for West Brom. Hegerberg arrived at the near post and buried the header past Jamie Cumming, cross from the right hand side, and again United are breached with a cross that they couldn't defend, and again their subs are watching from the sidelines and couldn't influence that, and West Brom have turned a 1-0 deficit to a 2-1 lead. So what did you make of that? 0808 100 9100 for your calls. Send your voice note to our WhatsApp number. Put Oxford at the top of your message. 08000 321 333. With us for Wasn't It the Game? James Roberts, the former Mail Oxford United reporter. Mark Sennett, formerly the Oxbox chair. Nick Harris from BBC Radio Oxford Sport. And the former Oxford United defender, Eddie Odiambo. Your voice most important to us tonight. Get involved. This is Wasn't It the Game? So, Nick Harris, back to the old routine of Oxford United losing by the odd goal.
Yeah, this was bitterly disappointing, Jerome. What a difference 2 minutes make. United had done a lot of hard work in the first half. It wasn't pretty. The boos when West Brom left the field. Second half, United then opened the scoring from Lancashire, and then 2 minutes later, somehow they let West Brom in. They didn't keep the lead, and the game completely changed. And there's questions to ask. The subs were due to come on. They must have waited, 7-8 minutes before they came on. Cameron Brannigan was injured at the time. Perhaps United were waiting for that. But while we were waiting for the subs to come on, West Brom scored that vital second goal. The penalty in the first half, we've had a good look at it. It looked like a clear penalty for Oxford United, but disappointed. After that opening goal and after the first half, surely that game was there for the taking for Oxford United. Instead, no points.
James, what did you make of what you saw from Oxford United?